gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Do I know what's going to happen? No, I'll guess. But
We win one tomorrow. That's called a winning streak.
Alright, I'm not a fucking athlete. This is my fucking way. This is how I win.
adapt or die.
What's happening, everyone? Welcome into another episode of This is the Week 14 Picks Preview, little fantasy, trivia, survivor. We've got everything for you this week. I'm your host, Matty Maitai. With me, as always, is Matt Libanati and Nick Cometa. What's happening, guys?
I am doing great. I'm doing fantastic. I am in the playoffs. Who is in the playoffs on this podcast?
I am in the playoffs, Nick.
I am in the playoffs, Matt. Libanati.
Oh,
Are you going to talk about all your other leagues? Oh, I made the league. I have the most points in my other league. Is that where you're going down?
Playoffs. I'm just glad that I beat both of you to assure that neither of you got a bye week.
Matt?
That's what you're hanging on to?
At this point, what else do I have in our league? I'm out of the playoffs.
Libanati is the defending champ in the A-plus league, and he is officially out of the playoffs. I am the 4 seed. Nick is the 3 seed. We have some tough matchups before we can take on the bye weeks of Danny and Savannah.
So, couple notes. First time a defending champ didn't make the playoffs.
In our illustrious 3 years.
Whoa. In the history of the
In
league.
our illustrious
In the history.
3-year history.
In history, can you cut
But
that
you
out?
were the first, so
You
congratulations.
were the first.
Fair.
What else do we have? I mean, we gotta mention a little hand clap
To Bill, yeah.
Sure.
Bill was 1-6 after 7 games in the season. He made a myriad of questionable trades at the time, and he managed to fight his way back in and made the playoffs 6-7.
This is where the team of destiny runs into the logic that I did of trading away Dalvin Cook because of bad playoff matchups.
Oh, God.
Are people unmatchable?
Don't put this juju on yourself. Dalvin Cook's going to have 45 points. Just don't say anything else about his bad matchup.
Nick is trying to convince us that trading away the best player in fantasy football is a good move. You be the judge of
He
that.
wasn't the best player until I traded him. That's a fact. I didn't trade him, and then he goes off for 49 2 straight weeks. But, hey, it still went into the playoffs. Still got the 3 seed. Limonati still didn't make the playoffs.
Correct.
Still in the 7th seed.
Yep.
And now, can
moved down.
Can I also note one thing? What does your little website say about your projections now? Because 12-1 projected on draft day?
That was
Sent it-
Yahoo's. That was
sent it
Yahoo.
everywhere?
I did not send that.
12.
You can continue
I think
to
it
sit
was
here and try
13
to
and
bash
0.
me.
13 and
It
0.
was Fantasy Pros you sent out.
Fantasy
Yes,
Pros.
which did not have me going 12-1.
12-1, 13-1, 13-0. What was it? I kind of forget.
It definitely has you as a top 3 team in the league.
It did not have you
Oh,
at
yeah.
6 and 7.
Correct. Yeah, when I draft Joe Mixon, George Kittle, and who else? Kenny Galladay, which Mixon and Galladay haven't played half the season, and Kittle got injured in week 5. Like, it sucks. Fantasy's about luck. You can sit here and try to diminish me all you want, but go for it, sir.
Hey,
Just didn't know.
fantasy is a lot about luck, and a lot of times projections don't mean shit because
all
the
the
people
time.
that make them don't know really what the fuck they're doing. But you know what doesn't have luck, Nick? Gambling. Gambling is not luck. Gambling is skill. Yeah, right. But that really leads us into our favorite segment, our favorite news segment of the show, and that is the Doghouse segment.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
All right, so this week it was a little more difficult for me to try to find someone in the doghouse because I didn't actually have any gambling stake in this game. But after watching the tape and reviewing the game, I think the doghouse member of the week has to be Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, boy.
Mitch Trubisky with a 3-point lead and about 1:40 left. The Bears had the ball, and he fumbled it in his own zone, giving it back to the Lions so that they could take a nice 4-point lead after a touchdown and blowing the game where they had a lead and they were, getting 3 points? They were giving 2.5 points.
Yep.
Yes.
It went from a win to a loss.
And fuck the spread.
Yeah. Oh, they lost the game outright, but the spread is really the concern there because If Nick Foles is in that game, he either dumps that ball off or he just takes a sack and lets it go for a punt. But instead, Mitch Trubisky's trying to be a hero because he's been on the bench all year. And what happens? You lose the football. It's insane.
You're 100% right, but Trubisky, let's be honest, has been an upgrade the past couple of weeks over Foles of the past 4 or 5 weeks before that. Neither's good.
They may not be in that game.
I think
crap is better than shit.
I think legitimately they're ranked the 32nd and 33rd quarterback for like those who have had enough pass attempts and everything. They are ranked the worst in the league and even one worse than the worst. Like it's bad. Imagine if the Bears with that defense had a competent somewhat below average quarterback play, they'd be in the playoffs.
Maybe if they took Deshaun Watson
or
Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not even talking that good of a quarterback play. But if they had Phillip Rivers.
Same draft, Mitch Trubisky and Deshaun Watson. And guess what? We got a nice little revenge game this week for Deshaun Watson against the team that didn't want to draft him in lieu of Mitch Trubisky.
I mean, how?
What a bum!
They had to play before, right?
I don't think so. It's AFC, NFC.
I did hear that this is Deshaun's first time playing against him, but I don't take anything as far as a revenge game of a quarterback that didn't draft him. But I get what you're saying.
Hey, any narrative I can find, I will use in this. So, all right. Well, I guess the first thing that we're going to have to do this week is review last week's picks. Did you update this with the Ravens yet? I did. I don't think so. I don't think you did. You did not. You definitely did not.
I definitely didn't.
No, you did. We all had the Ravens, all the Ravens covered. So just give a win to everyone. So.
I knew I was.
Oh, I did. No, I did in the season totals, not in the last week's.
Okay. Oh, sorry. You are 8-5, and I am 7-6. Okay. So that's all updated. The big board was a little bit off, but to recap last week, Lib led the week with 8-5 record, and I came up in second with 7-6. Nick trailing with 6-7. Not great, Nick. You're falling behind a little bit here.
It's always building you guys up for the comeback. You know?
Yeah. Well, guess what? I was struggling at the beginning of the year, and now I'm right on your coattails. Overall in the season, Lib is at 39-41 with a 49% winning percentage. I am at 36-44 with a 45 winning percentage, and Nick is at 37-43 with a 46.25 winning percentage. As for our A-plus locks last week, Nick went 2-1. Sorry, he went 1-1 in the A-plus locks with the Titans and the Colts. Titans losing, Colts winning. Lib took the Jags plus 9.5. They covered, almost won the game. I took the Chiefs minus 14, even though my real favorite game was the Patriots. I didn't take it because I'm a Chargers fan, although I won a lot of money off of it. I did lose my Chargers bet. A-plus over-unders, Nick won his at Chiefs Broncos under 50.5. Lib won Seahawks Giants under 47.5, and I lost Browns Titans under 54.5, which I thought was such a fucking lock. And they scored 45 points in the first half.
It was over.
Maybe the first quarter.
It was over at the first quarter.
Oh, as soon as I think it was Higgins had the deep touchdown, or maybe it was Peoples-Jones, and I was just
It was
Peoples-Jones, and I was like, oh, this is done. Like, I convinced my brother to bet it. It was brutal.
I hope you all faded my locks last week, like I told you, because then, of course, now I go 2-0 this week, so we'll see.
Which means he's going to be very confident this week, and I expect a full-on 0-2.
That sounds about right. Fade him again.
And we lost our show teaser, unfortunately. We had the Packers and Seahawks. Packers down to -3, Seahawks -3.5, and the Seahawks lost
with Colt McCoy. They lost outright.
I lost a lot on that.
Yeah, that was a brutal one for everyone. I mean, do we think that what is happening in Seattle is a factor of Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson? Is Russell Wilson not performing, or is Pete Carroll changing the identity of the offense as they go, get Chris Carson back? He's trying to run more, and he's just not letting Russ cook. Or, I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. I think that Russell takes ownership for not playing. The whole narrative at the beginning of the season was, oh my God, how has Russell Wilson never received a single MVP vote? He's been so good, a top 1 or 2 quarterback for so many years now. And he was playing like an MVP for the first 5, 6, however many weeks. And he's owned up that he needs to play better. But I think that it is a little bit of a shift in the offense, like you said, at the same time. I think it's both.
I really don't know. I thought the Seahawks would get back on track coming off these Giants Jets string that they have here at home. It's been embarrassing. That is an embarrassing loss to a Giants team that doesn't have Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones.
I mean, the Giants have been playing great defense this year. They are first in their division, which is wild to say at 5-7, but they are in first place in their division. They played Tampa Bay well. They started the season off, I think, 0-4. When you lose your franchise player, that's a real tough loss. How do you operate an offense when the prime beneficiary of your offense is Saquon?
And then they tried to run more through Daniel Jones, and they realized like maybe Saquon Barkley he's really good, but maybe our offensive line is what's helping him out a little bit. And Gallman's been gashing.
Alfred Morris came back from 2013 irrelevancy to score one on the ground and one through the air.
They've been doing great on the ground. Over 120 each last couple weeks.
Sounds about right. And I mean, you say, yeah, they're leading their division, but that's like being the tallest person at a midget convention. That's nothing to write home about.
I mean, I will say this. They lost to the Eagles on a wild last-minute touchdown to Boston Scott. They should be 6-6. And again, that's not saying they're an amazing team, but a 500 team winning the division is not wild in the NFC East.
Correct. No, and it'll be interesting to see if it's Washington or New York coming down the stretch here, because I think both have a chance, as we just saw Washington beat the last undefeated team in the Steelers. And just as a heads up or a reminder, fuck the Steelers.
Of course. And
it's back-to-back weeks for the Steelers.
One last thing I'm going to say about Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks.
Them doing awful against the Ravens.
Oh, yeah, but they beat the Ravens.
We were watching it. Don't want to bring it up the memories.
Yeah.
Ray McCloud.
We don't want to bring him up again. I will say one last thing about the Seattle Seahawks and Russell Wilson. I saw Power Rankings came out for MVP this year, and he's not even in the top 5, and I still think that's egregious. He is second of all quarterbacks when it comes to passing touchdowns this year, behind only Aaron Rodgers. He's third in passing yards. He's third in rushing yards. He is
rushing yards among quarterbacks.
Among quarterbacks, sorry. And he is even the clarification. And I just think, I mean, he's the heart and soul of the team. If he wasn't on this team, they wouldn't be a playoff team. And as
he's by far the most valuable player on that team. But I mean, Mahomes is gonna.
I mean, it's fine, but I saw Kamara was ahead of him. Dalvin Cook ahead of him. This is ridiculous. Yeah,
but it's Mahomes or Rodgers, and then it's a huge gap, and then whoever else you want to throw in.
I think Russell's right there. I think he needs to pick it up the last 4 games. He's definitely gone down recently, but I think he's still in the conversation.
Agree. And what's funny is the voters clearly weigh these later games. Like if Russell Wilson had a bad 3-4 weeks back in weeks 2 through 5, he would still be in the heart of it. If the past 4 weeks were amazing, they clearly value these late, quote unquote, more important games. They weigh that more.
For sure, 100%. It's all about recency bias. So, all right, and with that, let's jump into our Thursday night preview. So, for the first game of the week, we have Thursday Night Football against the New England Patriots and Los Angeles Rams. Rams are favored by 4.5 points. The over-under is at 43.5. I'll lead this one off. I think that a lot of people are going to overreact to the fact that the Patriots beat the shit out of the Chargers.
Yep.
We are not a good team. And the Rams are also playing well. They just beat up a division rival in the Cardinals. They've been winning some good games. They're at home in the new Coliseum, the new Los Angeles SoFi Stadium Coliseum. But I'm going to take the Patriots here.
Oof.
And the reason I'm going to take the Patriots is they stayed in Los Angeles after playing the Chargers. Mm-hmm. This is going to be basically a second week in a row playing in the same stadium. Bill Belichick has turned the defense back around. And I don't know if it's Gilmore or if it's Belichick. I think it's a little of both. I don't know if it's a motivation factor, realizing that they can get in the playoffs still. But the Patriots defense is playing like what the Patriots defense used to look like. I think the guys that, like the linebackers and all the linemen that have filled in for the COVID opt-out players are finally getting into a rhythm, feeling like they're actually starters. And, I mean, I am worried that Aaron Donald's going to blow them up, but the best part or the second best part of the Rams defense is Jalen Ramsey, and who's he shutting down? Damaris Byrd, N'Keal Harry. I mean, like it's.
But you can almost. I feel like they're just going to leave him on a half of the field. Whoever's over there, don't give a shit who it is.
We're not throwing over there.
Yeah.
Cover our third receiver. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, but Cam Newton, if he still can't throw right, throw Jalen on the left. Who knows? Belichick's a master.
They might have to figure it out, but I just think the Patriots defense will be able to stifle Goff and them. I mean, maybe McVay's made some changes since the Super Bowl, but I think Belichick's kind of figured that offense out. Held them to 3 points in a Super Bowl when the team was much better than it is now. And give me the Pats.
That was with Tom Brady that could control the clock, not Cam Newton, who is very turnover.
There's 3 points.
And I don't know that the Rams team is much worse than they were in that Super Bowl.
But the thing is, what I like about the Pats this week is that the Rams, as much as people think, I don't know what to think of the Rams. They beat the Cardinals. It was a 10-point win, but they did get a touchdown late, so it was really a 3-point win. They got that touchdown late, right, with Henderson?
Yeah, but that still counts.
I know, but...
I hear what you're saying.
But they were playing that game very close.
Yep.
They lost to the 49ers.
Twice. Both 49er games.
Well, how did they lose to a 40 with Nick Mullins? They barely beat the Bucs.
Lost to the Dolphins.
Then
but beating the Bucs is
Seahawks, and then they lose to the Dolphins. Struggle with the Bears, lose to the Niners.
I don't think they struggle with the Bears. They beat the shit out of the Bears.
I mean,
you gloss over like barely beating Tampa. Tampa's a legitimate team. That's a good win.
Their only good win is Tampa. They beat the Eagles, they beat the Giants, Washington, the Bears. I mean, they don't have a lot of good wins on it. I mean, I guess Seahawks isn't bad.
Cowboys week 1 was good.
Yes, when the Cowboys were actually,
by 3.
But they don't. I don't really know what to make of it, and I'm going to go with the hotter team, which I think the Patriots are. Even though it's not much to go off of a Chargers game, but the defense looks good.
They look competent on all levels right now.
With Gilmore in the game, take out either Woods or Cup. I know they have a lot of weapons. He likes using Josh Reynolds. Higbee's getting back into the mix.
All 3 running backs.
All the running backs are coming in. But the Patriots just have a system where it's 4.5 points. I'm going to take the points. And it's something where there's no travel. There's no home field. The Patriots just have a system. They have the confidence on offense. Could it be a letdown game? Yes. But with the Patriots, you don't see that many. And they've already had too many letdown games this year.
I mean,
one thing that people like to always say is speak upon the trends of the Pats, and it's hard to really evaluate that because Tom Brady was such a cornerstone of the team. So for 20 years, you have Tom Brady. Did they win these types of games because of Tom Brady, or did they win it because of Bill Belichick?
It's both. That's the style.
And it might be both. But my point is, they are money in December, and we will see this December if it is Bill Belichick, more Bill Belichick, or more Tom Brady, for the reason that they succeed. Is it the adjustments made by the coaching staff to win these games where they know the opponents after doing so much
and learning your own identity?
Yeah.
The Patriots team in October is never the same team as the Patriots team in late December. Ever.
Precisely. Yep.
100%. But my thing is that the Pats' recent wins are looking more and more unimpressive as the season goes on. I mean, last week against the Chargers, yes, it was a dominant, clearly 45-0, but the Chargers are not a good team. Against the Cardinals, squeaking out by 3 points. How good are the Cardinals really? And I'm not, it's a good win, fine. You lost to the Texans. The Texans have not been good.
They have been good as of late.
Texans with Will Fuller, though.
Yes. But, I mean, the Texans are still a middling. I'm not saying it's like a really bad loss, but it's not. Losing to them by 7 isn't great.
And was that a new coach, too?
No, that might have been right after Bill O'Brien. That might have been.
That's a few weeks. That's a few weeks after. Bill O'Brien was fired after week 5.
Yeah,
it was after.
New coach with the Texans are. Imagine playing for a guy that doesn't think that DeAndre Hopkins is a good player.
I don't think he didn't think he was a good player, but he didn't get nearly enough back in the trade.
I saw a report that the GM didn't think he was a good player.
Yeah.
Today.
They beat the Ravens by 6. Fine, a good win, but how good are the Ravens? They're clearly not the team they were last year. You beat the Jets by 3,
we
blah,
can
blah, blah.
we can pick apart the teams and their wins, but it's what are you doing now? I think the last few weeks the Patriots have figured it out, and
I'm going with the Rams here. I think McVay's going to treat this as a revenge game to prove himself against Bill Belichick when they clear. Like, the Rams, I don't think are too much worse from that Super Bowl, and the Patriots are clearly a much different team.
the Rams have motivation. I will give you that. They have more motivation for sure.
I'm laying the points.
Okay. 2-1 on that one. Any props we like in here? I already have one. Anytime touchdown, James White. I like that. The Rams kind of struggle covering the running backs out of the backfield.
Yep.
And he's plus 300.
Wow.
For anytime touchdown. He could get one rushing. He could get one catching. He had a big game a few weeks ago, but he's had a couple of quiet ones. I feel like he's due.
I like that. I like Goff anytime interception at minus 120, I think it was.
Ooh, wow. I really love that. That's what? Where did you find? I don't even see interceptions on
It
here.
should be on the prop. Anytime.
What's it under?
I don't remember.
Well,
Builder.
that's a good
Builder,
one.
maybe.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He
Wow.
has 10 interceptions in 12 games this year.
Against his past D, yeah.
Defense. Jackson's been a ball hog back there.
I like
I
that.
like for some sort of tip in a pick to happen tonight.
All right, so obviously this is going to come out after this game, but our favorite picks are James White anytime touchdown and a Jared Goff interception. Awesome. All right, let's just jump right into the Sunday slate of games.
A $100 better made $10,000. A $500 better made $50,000. Well, I got 6 games on Sunday that I'm releasing absolutely free. These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your unborn children on these 6 games. Absolutely.
Okay, let's get into our first Sunday game. We have the Houston Texans at the Chicago Bears. Bears are +1 at home. Over under set at 45. What do you guys think?
Both teams are struggling. The Texans are probably on more of the up as far as I know they lost to the Colts last week, but they were kind of in that game.
100%.
Bears were struggling to beat the Lions. Ended up losing to the Lions at home. I'm going to go with the Texans in the point, -1. It's not much. Just because of the way they're playing. I know the defense is better than what the Texans have been facing, but the Colts defense is pretty good. I think David Johnson coming out of the backfield is going to relieve some pressure off of Watson. And Watson's a very mobile quarterback. I think the Texans are going to take the win here. I don't like the game at all. But Texans in the I won't watch the game, but Texans.
Yep. I'm right
That's
there
what I
with
was
you.
trying to get. I won't watch this game because they both have no relevance. But Texans -1 seems like a pretty easy pick in my mind.
I'm
Which is
right
why I
there
don't
with
like
you.
it.
It's you know what should have been my doghouse is the center Nick Martin for the Texans, because if he didn't botch that snap with 45 seconds left down on the 2-yard line,
That was brutal.
they more than likely would have won that game. They were down 6 points at the time. A touchdown gets them up 1 as long as they don't miss the extra point. Blah blah blah. So I just don't. Even without Will Fuller, this offense is clearly not going to be as good for Deshaun because he's throwing to only Kiki QT and should I say the name I keep saying of Kenny Stills is no longer on
Kenny Stills is no longer on the team.
I've made that mistake like 4 times.
4 weeks in a row. He's going to throw it to Kenny Stills, but he's not on the team, so that'll be difficult.
It's Kiki QT, Brandon Cooks, and then
Chad
a whole bunch
Hansen.
of people I've never heard of in my life.
Chad Hansen. He's a combination of the guy from Red Zone and Chris Henson.
Hanson brothers?
Chris, why don't you take a seat?
Yeah, why don't you take a seat? Why don't you take a seat? Sean, take a seat.
I don't trust the Bears defense to contain them, though, and I don't trust the Bears offense to put up enough points to cover this. Or to get within. I don't trust them to win.
Yeah. The reason the Texans are not in the doghouse is because we were all over the Colts.
Oh, that's fair.
That's why they're not in the doghouse. If we were all in the Texans, then they would be. But I think I believe the betting money and the public money was both on the Colts. So I think that fumble actually saved a lot of people. And if anything, if we had the opposite of a doghouse, that's where
that's fair, but it was a bad
that'd be
bad
either
play.
way. Yeah. I go back and forth on this team. I mean, the Texans defense played decent, but they're not good. It's really J.J. Watt. And I love Deshaun Watson. He's the best player on the field, but losing Will Fuller is huge. David Johnson is not great. Duke Johnson is not great. The DJs are not beautiful.
Can you not say that in front of my fantasy team?
I have him too, man. We've talked about it all week. What do you do with David Johnson in this game? Bears have a great run defense, especially when
Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks.
Akeem Hicks, that's who I'm looking for.
He's coming back.
No, he's back. He played last week and he was disruptive. So it's going to be hard to run the ball, which puts it squarely on Deshaun. And he's got a couple of crap tight ends, Kiki Cutie. I mean, Brandon Cooks, who might get his 6th concussion.
Kenny Stills?
Watching from his couch. Give me the Bears. I hate it, but I just think they have a better defense. They have a better running game. They have a worse quarterback.
I hate it, but I went with the best player on the team, which is Watson.
Yeah, and
you could argue Khalil Mack, but yes, I'm taking the quarterback.
So I'm taking the opposite. I'm going to take the better team that has the worst quarterback, and just hope that Mitch Trubisky gets out of our doghouse.
Are they in 6 in a row they've lost?
It's something like that. I think it's 5 of the last 6, but it's bad. They're home dog. Give it to me. I don't think the Texans will travel well. So, on to the next game. We have the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags are a 7.5 dog at home, and the over/under is 52.5. I'm going to go with the Titans. I just think they have a big bounce back game from the Cleveland game. I think that Derrick Henry, who usually destroys the Jags and had a mediocre game against them earlier in the year when it was week 2, I believe. I think he goes off and has a monster game. Hope you have him in your fantasy playoffs because he's going to go off. Give me the Titans. I think they win by double digits.
Yeah, because Illuminati has him in our league, Derrick Henry, so he's going to go off in the playoffs for him.
Yep.
My
consolation bracket.
Oh,
don't worry about it.
So Derrick Henry they contained him last time they played.
I know they did. That's rare.
Very rare.
He destroys them.
3.4 yards a carry.
Historically, he owns
only
the Jags.
84 yards.
And they're bad. I don't know what happened week 2.
Even
I don't know if he was seeing a stripper before the game, but
even when the Jacksonville defense was like top tier, he owned them.
You're taking the Titans?
Yes.
You're taking the Titans again? Do you want to talk about it?
Did you take the Titans, Nick?
I thought he was going to go next.
Oh,
you
were
were
talking
serious.
yeah.
Jumping in for a second. Go finish up. I'll wait my turn. I'm sorry, sir.
The Titans defense is pathetic.
It is. But so is the Jags defense, and so is the Jags offense.
They've maintained to stay in games.
I don't know how they're putting up these points with Mike Lennon. I've been surprised at how
weeks.
competent they've been.
They have been.
He's still projected to play again this week, right?
Oh, yeah. No, they already said he's starting.
He's starting. I don't know what to think. I was going to go with Jacksonville because they stayed in against the Packers, stayed in against the Jags.
I feel like you can't look at anything before the last 2 weeks. Because anything before this might not Mike Glennon. The last 2 weeks
they stayed in against the Browns. They stayed in against the Vikings.
3-point game and a 2-point game. I completely agree with
The
you.
Browns just destroyed the Titans.
And what were those lines, though?
So then, what's your pick? Sounds like you're going with the Jags.
I'm going to go with the Jags.
All right, Jags plus
7.5.
It's a lot.
I don't like it.
It's a lot of points, but honestly, I think it's not enough because the last 2 weeks they have stayed and kept it close with a 2-point and a 3-point loss. Is that what we just said? And I think that this spread should be more. Those spreads where they lost by 2 and 3 were 13.5 and 9.5. This seems too low as the Titans have been playing well and the Jags. It almost seems like Vegas is sick of getting Jacksonville wrong and they're overcompensating this week. I think the Titans eventually need to win one of these games by a good amount and not squeak out a 3-point win. And I'm laying the points here, 7.5. The hook scares me, but I'm sticking with Titans.
This will be my first part of my teaser.
Yep, for the Titans. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, teasing down or teasing up the Jags?
No, tease down.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, I think Vrabel is going to get them pumped up this game.
I
think the teaser is a great play.
I just don't like the 7.5.
No, the hook sucks, and I could see the Titans winning by 4 or 3 even. Like you said, they keep it close, but they're not going to win. I don't think. And a teaser sounds great here.
Teaser sounds great to start.
Keep that in mind, people. All right, let's go on to another shit game, and we have the Denver Broncos against the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are favored by 3.5, and that kind of comes with a question mark because there's some unknowns with the Panthers and the COVID situation. McCaffrey is listed as doubtful right now to play the game. The over-under is at 46.5. That is still solid, but that's probably going to come down if the McCaffrey news is official. I don't know what you guys think. Honestly, I was leaning the Panthers all week, and the McCaffrey news kind of made me worried about it. I think I'm still going to go Panthers. I think just Teddy's a good quarterback. They're coming off a bye. They've had time to practice. I think Curtis Samuel will probably come back once the COVID news releases. And he still has Robbie Anderson, who is his favorite target. He's played with Mike Davis all year. It's not like they haven't been playing without Christian McCaffrey. And the defense isn't great, but guess what? The Broncos are, 30th in DVOA, 31st? They're not good. So I'm really not worried about it. Give me the Panthers.
I'm with you here. I'm taking the Panthers. I mean, CMC being out does hurt it a little bit, but it doesn't. We'll see where this line ends up. The Panthers are coming off of a bye. They've got time to prepare, and this is the revenge for the Super Bowl loss. Because obviously there's so many players on the team that were there back in the Super Bowl against the Broncos, but I just don't trust the
Jabril Peppers.
Thomas Davis might. No, he's no way. He's still on the team.
Samuel and
DJ Moore.
Are they in or out?
We don't know yet. We assume Samuel will be back. There's been multiple reports of whether DJ was close contact or actually tested positive himself.
So from the sounds of it, DJ Moore tested positive. Curtis Samuel is just a close contact COVID thing, which means if he tests negative, he will be cleared for the game.
Did you see that Dez was a false positive the other day when they pulled him off the field?
He's so pissed. I don't blame him. You text Cowboys
revenge game.
Yeah, he gets a revenge game, misses out. They won. He
would have caught like one pass for 6 yards.
That's all that mattered. Would have been a touchdown though.
Well, we do know that. Well, I guess my joke was that Dez caught it, but I guess he didn't catch it.
Oh, I caught that, but he didn't catch it.
Damn it!
Yeah, I was going to go with the Broncos just because I thought there was too many people out. That's the only reason why.
They do have people out.
And the Broncos can run the ball well, control the clock. I think it's going to be a little scoring.
I don't blame you. That's not a bad one.
I'm going to go with the Broncos. Okay. Screw it.
Do we shoot your A+ lock? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I've hated
lock it in. He's locked it in.
I've hated every one of my picks.
No, I'm with you. These are tough ones. This is a tough week. On to the next game. We have
the Cincinnati
Dallas Cowboys, and then we're on to Cincinnati. To the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are 3.5-point underdogs at home. Over-under set at 42. Resident Bengals fan, you're up.
I'm taking the Bengals here.
Shocker.
I don't have a good reason why.
You're a homer.
I've been beyond being a homer. I'm not denying that. This offense has been slightly better than I had expected once Burrow went down. It's not been good. I'm not trying to say that, but I don't trust this Cowboys team. They just laid another egg. What they put up finally, they ended up with 17 with some garbage time points against the Ravens. But I see this game being a close game within a field goal, probably close to within a field goal, and I'm taking the Bengals.
Cowboys just got blown out by the Red Washington football team. Just got blown out by the Ravens. They're not going to lose to the Bengals.
I don't think they're going to lose.
And I think they're going to cover the points.
We'll see.
I just don't like the Bengals. They've hurt me too much about that Giants loss with not barely getting that backdoor cover. Hate the Bengals. Don't care about if it's a good pick or a bad pick. I hate the Bengals. I hate them. They have no offense. And I think Andy Dalton is getting
revenge game, baby.
A little bit more.
Yeah, no, he's
it is
been
a
back.
revenge game, and that's why I like it.
So here's my true question to you then. Is your hatred of me influencing your hatred of the Bengals at all?
No, I hate the Bengals because they covered against the Giants.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was anything.
Strictly because of that.
I hate the hook. I really do. But I'm going to take the Cowboys. I think the public's reaction to Tuesday night's game is really affecting this a little bit. Cowboys are going to have short rest, but the biggest weakness of the Cowboys is the defense. The Bengals have no offense, so it doesn't even expose their biggest issue. And Andy Dalton is competent. They have enough weapons. They should be able to beat that Bengals. Honestly, I think the Cowboys offense is just as good as the Miami offense, and Miami was able to do pretty well against Cincinnati, and Cincinnati wasn't able to score against the Dolphins. I think this is probably like a 20-14 game. It's not going to be a good game. Honestly, the under might be the play in this, even though it's at 42. I don't even see how either of these two teams really do anything. And
Because the defenses suck.
the defenses suck, but the offenses suck too. It's brutal.
I like the under as well. But yeah.
I don't love it, but I think it might be
out as well, right?
Yeah, suspended.
Who?
Boyd.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That I forgot about that. I changed my pick.
Well, I mean, that helps my pick, but that kills my fantasy team.
I assume it's this week that he would serve the suspension. It's from the fight last week against the Dolphins.
But it was, he was, by the way, he was almost our doghouse player this week because the dipshit is hitting referees and cornerbacks when he literally would have been in the clear. Xavier Howard was going to be out. And clearly, Boyd's the only weapon that they use on the team. Has AJ Green caught a pass in weeks? I don't know. You tell me because I haven't seen anything. Higgins, I know T. Higgins has done a little bit, but
Yeah, no, he might have caught one or two in the past 2-3 weeks.
And Boyd's on one. He had one catch last week, and it was a 70-yard touchdown that got them their only points.
My mistake. Tyler Boyd was not suspended. It was one Bengals player and one Dolphins player. It was Sean Williams who was suspended. So Tyler Boyd's back in. Sorry, and you threw me for a loop because I thought you were right.
I thought he was.
Yep.
Thank God. Oh, thank Jesus. That's how bad there's a fantasy.
Well, that's why I double checked because you would have seen it with a fantasy notification.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sticking with my Bengals there.
Okay, so the real thing here is don't watch that game because that game's gonna suck.
Yup.
Okay. On to the next game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 7.5 points, over under at 49.5. Nick, why don't you leave this one off?
I've been burned by the Chiefs a lot this year. I don't know why they don't blow more teams out. It seems like every time they have a touchdown, it gets called back. They don't convert a fourth down conversion. Some penalty happens when every time you feel like at any point in time, Mahomes can flip a switch and go down the field in a minute and score. Yeah. So every time I say Chiefs should cover that. I mean, they're the best.
They're the fucking Chiefs.
They're the best team in the league. They have the best player. They have the best weapons.
Yep.
I just don't know why they aren't covering the spread. And part of me wants to take the Dolphins here. I've learned my lesson too many times, and not taking the points when they've had above 7-point games.
What's your pick?
I'm heavy on the points this week. I'm gonna go all with the points. I'm gonna go Dolphins.
Okay.
The Chiefs haven't looked good.
I'm right there with you. The hook is why I'm taking Miami, and I just think that this Chiefs defense, they can get by, and clearly they can get by. They won the Super Bowl, and they're more than likely going to win it again this year, I think. But I think that Dolphins will be able to put up enough to keep this fairly close. This defense is better than a lot of the defenses that the Chiefs have been playing, and I just think they keep it within 7. If this were 6.5 or 7, I'd probably be taking the Chiefs. It's the hook.
I feel you guys. Dolphins mash up well in terms of the fact that the strength of the Dolphins defense is their cornerbacks, and they could probably lock down Tyreek Hill and Watkins or Hartman, whoever the fuck they have out there. But
it's Kelsey.
They don't have an answer for Kelsey. And Edwards-Helaire is going to be back. I think they've realized at this point that Le'Veon Bell is not very good. They might not play him very much. They might want to use the rookie who's been a stud this year when they do use him. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think there is a bounce-back opportunity here after having a close game to the Broncos, which shouldn't have been as close as it was.
Last week.
And yeah, that was my lock. And so you know what? A lot of people like to pivot and say, you know what? They didn't cover for me. I'm going to go with the other team. No, fuck that. I'm doubling down. Give me the best team in the league against the Dolphins. And honestly, I don't think Tua's going to score that much. If it was Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'd probably be on the Dolphins. But they're going to play Tua, and I think Tua's not that good. So
maybe Fitzpatrick comes in for the second half.
I think he makes the throws.
Yeah.
I think dump downs to Gaskin. He's doing well.
But you know what?
Gesicki? Did you see that fucking catch last
But
week?
you know, the way you really need to attack the Chiefs defense is either by running the ball and pounding the rock, which Dolphins really aren't going to do that much. I know Gaskins is playing.
O-line. They got a decent.
They have a decent O-line. They're not great O-line.
No,
and Gaskins is okay, but they're not going to be – they're not Derrick Henry and the Titans pounding the ball. And the other opportunity is to go deep on them. These little bubble routes and screens – yeah, and the bubble routes and screens don't work on them because guess what? Honey Badger just sniffs that line of scrimmage. He floats around the whole place. He plays that strong safety position better than almost anyone in the league, and he will fucking come up and blow up any fucking little bullshit wide receiver screen you have. I don't think the strategy offensively that the Dolphins are going to have can beat the Chiefs. Is all. Taking the Chiefs. Simple as that. So, all right, let's go to the next game. We have the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants. The Giants are +1.5, over-unders at 45. I feel like if this number was a little bigger, I'd be on the Giants. I think the Giants have been playing well. I love the defense, but give me the Cardinals at 1.5. It's just I think they play a close game and just eke it out. I think. Give me the Cardinals. Simple as that. I know Kyler's hurt, but
lost 3 tough games against the Rams, Pats, and Seahawks. They lost against the Dolphins. They've been playing a lot of close games. I like the Cardinals as well, just in the fact that I just don't really trust the Giants enough. I just don't.
we know about Daniel Jones.
I was about to.
I don't know about. I think he's in.
I think he is in too, but I think you're right. I think it's just one of those. It's a different level of competition. They've had
Expected to play.
So it sounds like he's going to play, but even then, they've had, like you just said, the Seahawks, the Pats, and the Rams. Those are all playoff teams. Well, maybe not the Pats. But the Pats have been playing pretty well, and the Giants, while might be a playoff team, are clearly a level below.
And they beat the Rams or the Bills before that. The 3-game stretch we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, it was on a Hail Mary, but
Yeah, but it happened.
Stayed in the game with the playoff team.
Yeah.
So,
But
Lib, what do you think?
I'm taking the Cardinals here. I think that the Cardinals' offensive and defensive lines have been playing a lot better the past few weeks, and they're starting to round into form. And Kyler's AC joint sprain is a little bit concerning here, but it's not like Daniel Jones is going to be in much better shape. Neither is going to be at 100%, and I'm taking the team with the better offensive weapons. Give me DeAndre Hopkins. Give me Christian Kirk. Somehow Kenyon Drake is in this list. But
Larry Fitz coming back?
Yeah, maybe. I was surprised he didn't get a catch. That probably broke some sort of streak. But
Well, he was out for COVID.
But even before the last game he played,
yeah.
he didn't catch a pass. But I'm taking the Cardinals.
Okay, so we're all on the Cardinals, a.k.a. bet the Giants.
Yup.
That's what we're telling you here. Okay, let's move to the last game on our 1 p.m. slate. We have the Minnesota Vikings at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks -6.5 at home. Over/under set at 52. I'm going to just lead off. I'm going to take the Bucks -6.5. I think coming off the bye, they're going to be strong. They're going to have a good game plan. Maybe figure some things out with Antonio Brown finally. The Vikings haven't been playing great football lately. I know they can run the ball, but guess what? You know who the best run defense in the league is? It's either the Buccaneers or the Saints. So Dalvin Cook will have a good game, but he won't have a great game. And I think Kirk Cousins is going to get overwhelmed with their pass rush. Give me the Bucks -6.5.
I'm right there with you. Tampa's coming off the bye. Bruce Arians will work a couple things up. And I think that this is something that's – I'm not trying to overstate this. It's not some huge thing narrative-wise that you need to look into. But Minnesota's coming off of an overtime game. And teams coming off of overtime where they have to play extra time and just the emotional drainage there as well. I'm laying the points. I think that Tampa's defense is going to be able to contain them enough, and that Minnesota's defense doesn't have a chance against all of these weapons that everyone's discussed ad nauseum.
Second half of the teaser right here.
There we go. Down to half a point.
Down to half a point. Take the Bucks and what was it? Titans?
Bucks Titans.
Bucks Titans. I like the Buccaneers. Everything you guys said is great. Tom Brady off a bye. Gets another week to work with these guys, work on new things. Vikings, I don't really know again what to think of them. I think Justin Jefferson's going to have a bad game. I think Thielen's going to have a tough game. I think Cook's going to have a tough game. This defense is getting more into shape and will lock down this Vikings offense that even struggled a little bit against the Jags to start, even though they picked it up at the second half. But Buccaneers are not the Jags. I think the Buccaneers hold on and win this easily.
I'm with you. The only thing I will say is I think one of the two Vikings receivers might have a good fantasy game in terms of being able to get loose because the Bucs do struggle with some of the outside receivers. So Jefferson might have a good day. It might be Thielen. I don't know, but not a bad play there. But I don't think they can compete with them. I really don't. I think it's going to be something along the lines of like 31-20.
Yeah.
You know, 17 maybe.
Why did you choose 31-20? Did you look at the over/under?
Oh, look at that. The over-under is 52.
Well done, sir.
I guess on my predictions.
Well, mine's 51.5. It must have changed since then.
Well, guess I'm saying play the under. So, yeah, I think it's another round of Buccaneers, so bet the Vikings.
Yep.
All right, and that'll be wrap up our 1 o'clock slate. Let's just jump into – we're going to change this up a little bit and jump right into our trivia section before we get into the primetime game. So, Nick, how about some trivia?
We'll get right into trivia. So, in our fantasy league, Bill Sullivan started the league 1-6, end up making the playoffs in our fantasy league.
Okay.
Now, we rate that to NFL. Speaking of tough, which team holds the record for the worst start in NFL history to then make the playoffs? To give you a little hint, this team started off 0-4 in 92, then rattled 11 out of 12 wins to finish the season 11-5 and make the playoffs. They then beat the Chiefs in the wild card game, but lost to the Dolphins in the playoffs in 92.
AFC team.
Seattle.
AFC. Although
they probably were.
They might have been AFC back then, yeah.
That was
Chargers.
No, it's not a bad guess, by the way, Seattle.
Going with the Chargers.
Fred's going with the Chargers. Benani, do we have a guess?
Well, you said that they won a playoff game, so I know it's not the Bengals. Seahawks is a good guess. I'll go with the Colts.
A lot of conviction.
Colts.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts.
Who is it?
It is your San Diego Super. They started off the season losing to the Chiefs, Broncos, Steelers, and Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
They actually then won 11 out of 10 games, or 11 out of 12, and they actually lost again to the Chiefs. So they lost to the Chiefs that year. That broke their streak in between, and then they actually beat the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah, can't beat a team 3 times.
Can't beat a team 3 times.
That's right.
The other team that, just similar to Bills, 1-6, the Chiefs started off in 2015, going 1-5. Alex Smith then brought them 10 straight wins to end up with the wild card at 11-5. And then the second worst start is the Texans in 2018. They went on 0-3 and then went to win.
What about for a Super Bowl winner?
Oh, I don't know that.
I would think the Pats in 2001.
Yeah, that's probably
they
started
1-2. It was a 1-3. Yeah.
I did look that up.
And they won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should look that up.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So that was the Texans started over.
Chargers, baby. Can't win it all, but we can come back.
So there it is. Teams that made the
Big comebacks.
only team to start 0-4 to make the playoffs too.
Wow. All right, let's jump into our primetime slate of games. We have the Indianapolis Colts at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders plus 2.5. Over-under is 51. I'm going to lead off. I feel like this is a trap game. I feel like the whole world's going to be off the Raiders and that the Raiders are only plus 2.5 because Vegas doesn't want you to bet them. And I think this is going to be a trap game. After this whole thing, I'm taking the Colts. That all said, I'm taking the Colts because it just seems too fucking obvious to me to not take them. They almost blew the game against Houston. Phillip Rivers hasn't looked great, but that defense should stifle the Raiders, and it's the best defense the Raiders have seen in weeks. If they're struggling to score against the Jets and their blitz 8 fucking defense, I think they can
Or the Falcons defense.
Yeah, I think they'll have a tough time against the Colts, and I think the Colts can put up enough against a mediocre Raiders. So,
but my thing here is that Indy's defense is, I mean, they looked elite or like a top tier defense for the first 8-9 weeks of the year. They did not look good, and whether it's DeForest Buckner being out for a game, obviously that's a huge piece. Leonard Williams in or out, that's a huge piece.
Leonard Williams. Now I moved from the Giants to the Colts.
Oh fuck, who is it? Who am I?
Darius Leonard?
Yes, Leonard. Yes, thank you. Darius Leonard. Those are obviously key pieces, and they'll both be in here. But even when they have been in, they're not looking like the same defense.
Take the Raiders.
I'm taking the Raiders here.
All right, Colts. Easy. This is my 8 plus
Yes.
of the week if he's not doing it.
Let's go.
The Colts. This is the most absurd line I've ever seen. The Raiders almost lost. They lost to the Jets. They lost to the Jets. I'm not even calling that a win. They lost to the Jets.
I love how you call it all these they scored at the last second, so it doesn't count.
No, but they did lose. They intentionally lost that game. What team? They did engage 8 twice. They did engage 8 on a Hail Mary.
Who doesn't engage 8?
Who does that? Engage 8. What are they doing? There's a reason why they fired the defensive coordinator, even though it was they told them to lose the game on purpose. They lost the game on purpose. The Raiders lost that game.
I like Matt's illustration that he sent us where he drew a tank as the defensive coverage.
This is absurd. The Colts are not a good team. They're a playoff team.
They're a very good team. I think they control the clock.
2.5?
Yeah.
This is absurd.
It's not an East Coast team going west. It's central. I mean, it's a
Absurd.
4 o'clock game. It makes no sense to me.
The Raiders were celebrating like they won like a miracle game, and I just sat there laughing. They did an engage 8 blitz on a Hail Mary, and they have the fastest guy in the league one-on-one coverage, and the guy didn't even run. The corner didn't even run. He stopped
I
running.
don't understand how you let him get behind you.
He stopped.
That's
He
all
stopped.
you have fucking 14 seconds left in the game. Just
They
keep him in
told-
front of you.
They shifted everyone. They said, hey, wink, wink, wink. Don't cover this guy. And that's exactly what happened.
I agree with you, Nick.
This is absurd. This line's absurd. You're not taking the Colts, obviously.
Well,
I thought this was the easiest lock of the week.
go for it.
He might change his mind after what you just said.
Nope.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we had some strong opinions on that one. Let's go to the next game.
Easy.
Packers at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored by 7.5 points, over under 55.5. I'll lead off again. I don't care. I don't see in any world where the Packers just don't cover this game. They've already played once this year, and they fucking steamrolled them. Lions don't have Kenny Galladay. It doesn't look. Swift's clearly banged up. I think the Lions are just kind of phoning it in for the rest of the year.
That seems
55.5 seems like a fuck ton of points. I mean, that's the highest over-under of the week. I'm not touching it, though, because last week I took the highest over-under as an under, and it burned me. So,
in the first quarter.
so I'm going to stick with just the Packers for now. That's my pick.
Lions are 4-7-1 against the spread this year. You got Rodgers in an indoor game. I don't care that it's divisional. 7.5 is not enough points for this. I'm going with the Packers here as well. It's fairly easy. Easiest game of the week. Oh my god!
What are you doing over there?
You're talking about the Packers didn't just lose to the Jets. The Lions didn't just lose to the Jets, whatever it may be. Galladay?
He's
Probably out.
probably out. He hasn't practiced. Swift will probably play.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's been
limited.
concerning what they've been talking about with Swift, how he hasn't been himself, blah, blah, blah. Adrian Peterson came out to the media and said, he hasn't been himself since this.
He also was sick. I don't know what to make of it. It's a lot of noise.
Agreed, but it's not good.
Either way, yeah. What are you thinking, Nick?
I just feel like that's too much. I've been taking the spreads. I've been taking the points all the 1 p.m. games. Do I think I take the spread here? There's a lot of points.
I mean, the Lions scored 34 against the Bears. They're not bad, but I just I can't take them. Packers beat them by 20 last time they played.
In
In Green Bay.
Okay.
Take the Lions and move on.
Lions then. Jesus. Move. Yeah.
Take the Lions.
Be contrarian.
I'm gonna be contrarian. I just don't like that you both pick the Packers.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's burned me in the past, so you might be on the right side here, but
No, I'm probably not. Yeah.
Picking last is brutal because you almost just want to pick against the other people half the time.
That's exactly what it was. I was going to pick the Packers. You guys both said it. I just didn't like it.
Okay. I'll go last next time then. Next game we have is the New York Jets at the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 13.5 points. Over-under is at 47 points. This is, I'm not even a short list. This is my survivor pick this week. I've got the Seattle Seahawks still, and that's who I'm picking. But I'm going to throw the betting lines to you guys.
Yeah, Jets are.
Wait, just jump right in there.
I'm sorry.
Go.
Jets are 4-8 against the spread. But this still screams like a backdoor cover to me against a mediocre defense. I mean, obviously, I'd rather buy a point here and get it to 14.5, but I'm still taking the Jets at 13.5 here. I don't think that the Seahawks defense is good enough.
Seahawks have. I'm back on it. I'm back on the train. They've hurt me too many times, but there's no way they don't blow out the Jets. There's just no way. The Jets have looked at themselves. They're in the clubhouse saying, guys, why are we trying to get into this? The Jags are still losing. We cannot afford to win a game.
Yes, they can.
They can afford to win one game.
One game.
Yeah.
They have the tiebreak over the Jags?
No, Jags have won 2.
No. Jags have one win, but Jets do have the tiebreaker.
They have the tiebreak.
Oh.
Yeah. Jags only won.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking they won those.
But the Seahawks need to come back after that Giants game. I thought this would be a little bit closer to the spread.
Why?
Why?
Just because it's the Jets.
Seahawks just lost the Giants.
No, you're right. I had this at 10.5 as well. I thought it was a little closer, not much.
But yeah, give me the Seahawks in the points. I think they blow it out. I think Metcalf and Lockett go off.
The Giants are a very good team. I think we can all acknowledge that. They're pretty okay. They're not great. But the difference between the Jets and the Giants is the Giants have a great defense. Top 10 at least. Not top 5, but top 10 defense. And they were able to stifle the Seahawks. I don't think the Jets can even come close to stifling them. I think the Seahawks will put up 35 points this week, and I don't think the Jets will cover this spread. Give me the Seahawks minus 13.5. I'm predicting 31-20.
But I'm seeing like a 35-24 because I think you're right that there's no way that the Jets stop them. I can see them putting up 23, 24 points.
Okay, here's what the Seahawks have given up in the last 4 weeks. 23 to the Rams, 21 to the Cardinals, 17 to the Eagles, and 17 to the Giants. Defense isn't playing bad.
But all I said was that they put up 23 or 24.
Well, they haven't even given up 24 in weeks. I just don't think the Jets are way worse than any team I just mentioned.
Agreed.
So I just don't think they can score that much. I think it's 35-20 at best. I think they cover. I think it's going to be close because it's a lot of points, 13.5, but I think they cover. So give me the Seahawks. I think Russell's going to get a nice revenge game. I think he's going to get back into the MVP conversation with this one because he's had a couple of tough games. Now you give him a cakewalk. Hey, if you have any Seahawks in fantasy matchups, play them all. I don't even care. Play fucking David Moore. Greg Olsen, he hurt? He back?
I don't know.
Hollison, Will Disley? Who the fuck else they got? Just play them. Play them all. Jets suck.
I don't think Will Disley's with them anymore.
I took the Jets last week. I took Jets last week. I'm not because I thought the Jets Raiders were going to be close. I was afraid to take the Raiders for Survivor. I think the Jets could cover it. I don't think it's going to happen this week. On to the next game. We got a nail biter here, folks. We have Knicks Atlanta Falcons at my Los Angeles Chargers. We were talking about going to the game this year. It was on a short list of games I was going to see in the new stadium. Chargers are plus 2.5 at home this week. Over-under is 49.5, which seems ridiculous. I'm going with the Chargers plus 2.5. They're going to win one here. I know they got blown out last week. I think everyone in the world would be against them, but give me the Chargers plus 2.5. We're great as underdogs, and the Falcons fucking suck.
They do. Falcons do suck.
Oh, you moved my line. God damn it. Not this game. Different game.
Oh, that doesn't matter. We're talking about the matchup of the week, Matt, because the Bengals suck.
This is the marquee game of the week.
Best game of the week.
Notice the Cowboys and Bengals got flexed out of their primetime game, by the way.
You went with the Chargers?
Yeah, because both quarterbacks got hurt. Shocker.
I'll go with the Falcons. I don't like the pick. I'm thinking with my heart. You're thinking with your heart.
100%.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons. You go with the Chargers. We'll leave up to Living out.
Yeah, be the decider, pal.
Be the decider of where this game goes because the Falcons, I don't think they have the defense to cover the Chargers.
I don't think we have the defense to cover the
You don't have the defense to cover us. I don't even know where to pick. And I would trust that the Falcons' red zone offense have been atrocious. And that's why they are in the position they are. They cannot score in the red zone.
Do you have good special teams? Because that'll win you win you a game against us.
You'll get 3 returns for touchdowns. Don't worry.
But that's one of the reasons why the Falcons, I think, are going to lose this game is the red zone. They suck at the red zone, and then the Chargers will punch it in because they have too many weapons with Eckler, Allen. But I'm going to go with the Falcons. Hopefully they turn it around. They're going to somehow get a worse draft pick, and this is where they pick it up that game.
I'm going with the Falcons here as well.
Wrong.
Falcons play well against bad teams. The spread's less than a field goal. I'll take the better team.
Oh, sorry, can you say that again, sir?
The better team of the Falcons.
Hang on, I'm sorry. Say that what you said again, real quick.
The spread's under a field goal.
No.
I'm going to take the better team.
The Falcons beat worse teams. Is that what you said?
No. Oh, the Falcons
beat
play well against bad
teams. That's why they lost to the Bears. That's why they lost to the Panthers. That's why they lost to the Lions. Because they beat bad teams?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Just wanted to double check on that.
Yeah. Well, you're not mentioning any of their wins?
They beat the Raiders, the Panthers, the Broncos, and the Vikings.
Yeah. All bad teams. What, are you saying those are good teams? Because you called the Panthers a bad team with one of their losses.
The Vikings are a good team. That's about it.
No, they're not. They're a mediocre team.
Mediocre team.
I just, with a spread less than a field goal, I'm taking what I feel is the better team.
Okay. We shall see. I think I'm going to put a hefty wager on the Chargers this week.
I think it should be a wager between you two. Fuck the bookie.
Oh, should we go back to the bet we were going to make? I think we should. The Chargers-Falcons jersey bet.
Why do you think I brought it up?
Yeah, I forgot about that. We were talking about it with, I think it was Bucks wins earlier in the year. Let's do a Falcons-Chargers. Loser has to wear the winner's jersey to work on Monday. Or sometime next week. Well, let's call it Tuesday.
Yeah, no, not Monday. We have an interview Monday.
And Monday I have to go on site. But let's go Tuesday then. Come on. You took the Falcons. No spread, just money line. Come on.
He's shaking his head. He's too much of a pussy to even say no.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word.
Take my bet.
I'm not betting this team. It's not. They suck. Why would I bet it's like
I lost 48 to nothing to the Pats.
45.
You just beat the Raiders by 40 and then lost to the Saints. Your team is on a better streak than mine. Bet me.
No.
Bet me. We bet the A's and the Yankees in the past in playoffs.
I feel confident with the Yankees.
Take my bet. My bet. Please comment on the podcast and call Nick a pussy because.
Why am I betting a trash team?
I'm betting the trash team.
Because they're playing a trash team.
Are you kidding me? Have you looked at the draft order? We're ahead of you, pal.
Hey, I got you beat still. Don't worry. Oh no, we don't. You still are ahead of us. Oh no, you have 3 wins now.
No, we're behind you. Yeah.
No.
What a chicken shit. He won't even bet his own team. Wow.
All right, on to the next game. I'm enough of this.
We can't dwindle on Nick, just fucking sitting here like a bitch. All right.
A game I'm not confident.
Next game, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles +7, over under at 43. Jalen Hurts is playing. I don't know how any of us are going to argue against the Saints.
Just if you ever feel peer pressured in gambling, don't feel like you have to do it, guys.
It's not a real bet. It's wearing a jersey.
Yeah, this is not money bet. This is just chicken shit right here. I'm taking the Saints -7. I just don't even know.
Don't
Saints -7. I'm locking it up.
Saints -7.
My lock of the week.
I already bet it.
Okay.
Like 2 days ago.
Nice.
Before the Hurt news came out, I was like,
yeah.
yep, didn't matter to me. I don't care. If you can get it at 7, take it. Yeah, Saints. Oh, well, you can't lock me in, but yeah. Since you guys already took your locks, right? Oh, I get to look at the board now.
Eagles. Let's go.
Wow. Okay, well, Philly is 4-8 against the spread, and one of those spread wins was that bullshit lucky Hail Mary. I'm Saints is easy here.
That the easiest loss Nick ever had.
Yep.
Can't believe you would even do that.
That's worse than me taking the Raiders.
100%.
As Nick's sitting here about to change his mind.
The astute analysis on that game. On to the next one. We have the Washington football team at the San Francisco 49ers. Niners are -3. Over-unders at 43.5. Both these teams played on Monday Night Football, so they both kind of have the same amount of rest. It kind of worked out schedule-wise. I'm assuming the NFL tweaked this a little bit. But what do you guys think?
I'm thinking that
I think the 49ers are going to win this game. I've said this last week. If I think the team's going to win, I'll take the 3 points and take the push if it happens. They may win by 2-1, but I liked how Washington plays. I actually did like them against the Steelers last week, just because that defense is very good. But I think the 49ers can move the ball. I don't know what to think about this team because they go up and down, but they're home. I'm going to take them to win this game.
I'm taking the Niners here as well. Even though this is a quote-unquote Alex Smith and Jordan Reed revenge game, I think that the 49ers are somehow still the better team with how many injuries they've had. I think that this line will continue to move. We've already seen this line move. It opened up at Washington plus 4.5. I think that it's going to move closer and closer to a pick'em. I think that the public is going to be on Washington because of their win against the Steelers, but I'm sticking with the Niners here. But if you like the Niners, I'd wait until this line moves more.
I'm on the Niners too.
So bet
Washington, right? I think the fact that Antonio Gibson probably won't play because of his turf toe, or even if he does play, it's pretty limited, makes it all on Alex Smith because, as fine as J.D. McKissick is, it's not going to be Peyton Barber, yeah. I don't think that's enough for them to really establish much of a run game. And then you're passing against the 49ers defense. It really is not that bad this year. I think they're, top 8 in DVOA? They're a good defense even without Bosa. I think they're still a competitive team. And when it comes to coaching, I love Ron Rivera, but Kyle Shanahan has the offense to get around that defense. The 49ers have a good offensive line to maybe hold back Chase Young in that pass rush. I just think that the 49ers are going to run the ball down their throats. And, Washington did have that polarizing win, and they're coming off 3 straight. And as good as this team has been playing this year, keeping games close, I have a hard time seeing them win a 4th straight. Give me the Niners. All right. That wraps up our 4 p.m. slate of games. Now we're going to go on to Sunday Night Football, where it's probably the game of the week. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 11-1 at the Buffalo Bills, who are 9-3. Bills are -1. Over/under is 48. Lib, lead it off.
So I'll start off on taking the Steelers here. This line opened up at Pittsburgh -2.5. I think Buffalo's defense is starting to round into form after a terrible start to the year, but Pittsburgh just has too many weapons. Whoever they throw Tre'Davious White on, if they put him on Deontay or Juju, then it's going to be Claypool. If they've got too many weapons, James Conner should be back and somewhat healthy for this game. And Josh Allen's looked great the past week or two, but San Fran was getting 0 pressure. Pittsburgh will be able to get pressure. I don't care that their defense is losing guys. This defense is all about sending enough guys in order to get the pressure. It'll make Josh Allen look a little bit less normal and hopefully derail the team of destiny, a.k.a. Bills' chances in the playoffs, because I'm still mad salty, but I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Nick, what do you think?
It's a pick-up game. I'm going to go with the home team in Buffalo, just because Pittsburgh can't catch a freaking ball. I'm sick and tired of Pittsburgh looking good and not being able to catch a freaking pass. I think they're going to get the Big Ben. I think they're going to pressure him. I think the offense is. I think it's going to be a little. I'm more worried about Josh Allen and the offense than Pittsburgh scoring on Buffalo. but I think it's going to be a scrappy game. I think the Bills win by a field goal.
I'm going to go with the Bills as well. I think this is going to be a tough game. I think it's a field. I mean, there's reason it's a pick 'em because home field advantage doesn't play a huge factor in here. Steelers have the better record, but Bills have played a lot of good teams this year. It's not like they've been cakewalking over a soft schedule, and Pittsburgh has. Pittsburgh lost Bud Dupree, which really, they still are going to have a good pass rush, but it hurts. It's a big key to lose on the left side of the defensive line. I think the Bills can manage the pass rush a little bit, especially if they can try to double team T.J. Watt. And Josh Allen has the running ability to get out of the pocket. I think Big Ben is going to have a good game. I think it's going to be close. I'm worried that Allen will turn it over, and that's probably going to be the defining factor of the game. But give me the home team.
Yeah,
that's where I'm standing. This is where he might make up some ground on us, the Steelers.
Make up ground.
I am on the week. On the week where I feel like that's a game. That's an easy game to gain on us. A lot of these feel like pick 'em games. This one, I don't know. I'm worried about this one. I don't know why. Okay.
I'm not putting any thought to this one.
Yeah.
I'm
just entertained for this game, honestly.
It's a good game.
What do we think of the over/under in that game? 48. I honestly think it's going to go over.
That moved up from 46 this morning.
I think it goes over. 49 seems really positive. 28-21. 27-23.
I think it's going to be a chippy game. I think it goes under.
It's on my list of overs.
I think it goes over. I think the defenses fall apart in this game. We'll see. Both have good offenses. Both have good defenses. We'll see. Okay, well, that does it for our Sunday slate. The only game left we have on the slate is our Monday Night Football game, which has been flexed in because the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals got flexed out because no one wants to watch that shit. It's the first game of the year that has been flexed out for non-COVID reasons. So with that, we have our Monday Night Football game. All right, so for the Monday Night Football game, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns, a matchup between two division rivals, both fighting for a playoff spot. The Browns are favored the Browns are getting 2.5 points at home, so the 2.5 point underdog at home. 47.5 is the over/under. What do you guys think? I don't know what to do with this game.
I wrote down the Ravens earlier when the line was Browns +1. Now that it's Browns 2.5, that doesn't fucking change my mind. It's 1.5 and it's still under a field goal. I'm going with the Ravens still here.
Oh.
I think the Ravens match up well against the Browns. I think that they'll be able to not stop the run, but contain them well enough, and that their secondary should be able to hold up against Landry and Baker. And apparently Landry's some sort of world beater at this point. But I'm sticking with the Ravens here, even though I hate the Ravens and the Steelers much more than I hate the Browns. I'm sticking.
Simply because Baker Mayfield sucks against good defenses.
Yep.
Change the narrative on me, Baker. Because you beat up the Tennessee Titans, you do your stupid dances, you do celebrations, and then you go against Baltimore, and they're going to curb stomp them. I think the Ravens destroy the Browns this week.
You know what I like to do with my picks? I like to say, would an idiot pick against the Browns or pick for the Browns? And if I say yes, I wouldn't do it.
That doesn't go against your general A+ line.
I'm making fun of Baker.
I know. Yeah, I'm with Nick. Baker can't handle the pressure. It's one of those prove me wrong. He did great against the Titans defense. It's like bottom 5 in pressure rate. I think it's a tall task. And really, the Ravens offense has been struggling, but they get Mark Andrews back from COVID. They ran the ball like crazy. Is Lamar 100%? I don't even know. He hasn't looked great. But the Browns defense, while it's good, it's not great. As long as they can stop Myles Garrett, the secondary is okay. Ward's good, but I think the Ravens can do enough to beat them by a field goal. Yeah.
They're also backed into a corner at this point.
Yeah, they're fighting for a playoff spot. The Browns can afford a lot.
Exactly. You're fighting a cornered animal at this point. It's a divisional game.
Ravens have the short week, but I mean, the fact that they get a little bit more rest because it was supposed to be a Sunday game, now it's a Monday game, so they gave them a little more rest. I think that's going to help them. Yeah, we're all on the Ravens, so bet the Browns.
Mostly.
Yeah, I think that's the play here. So, all right, that'll do it for our slate. All the
Who you
games
locking up?
We already have the locks. I mean, I was going to pick last in the locks based on last week's win-loss record. So Lib went with the Saints over the Eagles, so Saints -7. Nick took the Colts -2.5 against the Raiders.
I almost locked up the Raiders. Kidding.
I am going on a limb. Give me
The Chargers.
the Los Angeles
Oh
Chargers.
my God, I was kidding. You
Plus
son of a bitch.
2.5. Give me them. Lock it up. I just don't think there's a way we keep fucking doing this. I really don't. I think this is a good comeback game. Nope. Give me the Chargers. This is a game we win. We're at home for the second straight week. We're getting points. We're playing a bad fucking team. If there's a team that's blown games just as bad as we have, it's the Atlanta Falcons. They got to travel from the East Coast to the West Coast. No more home games for you, mister. No more. And guess what? Todd Turd Gurley might fall in the end zone, but probably won't. Joey Bosa's going to rip his head off. Give me the Chargers plus 2.5.
So, just to clarify, the Chargers fan just said there's no way that we can keep losing this way. Or I forget exactly what you... But there's no way we keep doing it this way.
Exactly. And
How? How do you still say that as a lifelong Chargers fan?
because I've seen regression to the mean. We had a season.
Not until Anthony Lynn.
Hang on. We had a season under Anthony Lynn where we went 12-4 and we won 9-1 in one possession games. This year we're the opposite. We can do it the other way. But guess what? Who's 4-2 on their A+ locks? And guess who's sub 500? The two of you. So guess what? Lock me into Chargers. It's not even a heart play. It's a gambling play.
Shit.
It's a gambling play. I think
I feel bad for him. I really feel
Delusional. I'm the one who's been at the office now for going on 15 hours. You're the one that's delusional, sir.
Okay.
I feel bad for you.
If you feel bad for me, give me the first pick in the over-unders. If I'm so crazy.
Why would that do anything?
Because I clearly I'm a crazy person, so let me take the over-unders. It shouldn't affect you guys. Why not?
Because I finally earned it 1 week.
This makes me want to put that bet in, just how confident he is.
It's a fucking...
Put the bet in then!
Jersey, Nick! Wear a damn jersey!
I don't want to wear a jersey because I have to wear it in the...
Oh, which one do you want? I got Derwin, I got Bosa, Philly Rivers, Melvin. I have a baby blue.
Melvin Ingram or Gordon?
Neither. I had Derwin.
No, I thought you said Melvin at the end. Sorry.
Well, I have they're all different colors. My baby blue, I have LT, and I have.
I'd wear the LT.
You want the LT one?
It'd have to be on a Friday. Can't do it during a weekday.
That sounds like
so yes
accepting
to
it.
that.
No, but.
Oh, what a
But I just feel really bad.
What a pussy. Okay.
Really bad for you.
All right, so that wraps up our A+ locks. Now we're up to the A+ over-unders. Nick picked first on the A+ locks, so Lib, you have the first pick on the over-unders.
Woo! He wasn't picking the Colts.
You jumped on it, man. You picked first. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know whether to take an over or an under here. I think Falcons Chargers over 49.5.
Fuck, that's the one I wanted.
We all wanted. We just took our bet.
I already bet that.
What a. We talked about it. What a bandwagon guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wouldn't let me take the game. Nick, you're up next.
Oh, he took my pick, so I have to think about it.
Take a minute.
You pick a couple.
Talk it out. What are you thinking? I already know who I'm going to pick, so I hope you don't do it.
Sure. You can go.
No,
I'll let you go.
I'm eating him.
I'll let you go.
He's eating. I think I know where one of you's going.
Well, Nick didn't want me to talk, so I'm gonna go Texans Bears under.
Ooh, not where I thought you were going.
Mm-hmm. Talk about two trash teams.
I thought you were going Bengals Cowboys for the same reason. Under.
I thought about it, but I get 3 more points in the other game, so and they're both just bad. So give me that one.
They're not just as bad, but I get what you're saying.
Close.
And it's a better defense, at least, than the Bears. I don't hate the pick. It's just not where I thought you were going.
Yeah, I like it. Mm-hmm. I debated the Giants Cardinals too. That's another good one. All right, Nick, we're burning daylight here.
I want to bet an over.
Bills Steelers over.
No, I like the under there.
Oh yeah, Burton, I like the over now.
I thought about that one too.
Give me
Oh.
the Packers, Lions, under.
Under? Woo! 55.5. He's taking the under, folks.
I mean, it is the highest over-under of the week, but...
Oh, wait, what do we have?
Nah, fuck that. Give me the Rams.
He jumped from Sunday night.
Yeah, let me do it. Rams Pats under.
Rams Pats under 43.5.
Woo!
Okay. Nick's going with the Thursday night one. Let's go. I like it.
I was gonna put that in. I had my secondary. I just didn't want to bet an under. Then I looked at every game and I like all the unders. I don't like one over.
I don't mind it.
Don't like it over.
Actually, you know what? You just convinced me to do a teaser. I'm going to do Pats plus 10.5 under 49.5 tonight. I like it.
Nice.
I like that. That is my teaser for tonight. If you have to, I have that with my text group.
Oh, good.
I didn't bet it, but
well, as you say it, I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, that under sounds good. And I mean, I like the Pats at 4.5. Give me them at 10.5. That's great. Okay. All right. So that wraps up our A+ over unders for the week. And just to recap on the season, I am 4-2 in A+ locks. Liv 3-6. No, sorry, Nick 3-6. Liv 2-4. Over unders, Nick's 2-3. Liv 1-4. I'm 2-3 as well. So Faith Liv is what I'm hearing. But good luck with trying to follow any of our picks because we are clearly not the best. But let's move on to our survivor picks for the week.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
All right, so Liv, what do you think the best survivor pick is?
Definitely Seattle.
Yep.
No questions asked.
That is the survivor pick that I have in right now. It seems like Seattle's a no-brainer. I know they lost last week, but this is a slam dunk.
There's no way they lose to both New York teams.
If you don't have Seattle, though, because a lot of people don't, what would your next best game be on this slate?
I mean, Green Bay Detroit is enticing, but it's a divisional game. I never liked that, and it's at Detroit. Kansas City would be my second choice at Miami.
I don't even think it would be. I think my second choice would either be the Packers and the Titans.
Well, New Orleans is good too. Titans is another divisional game. New Orleans I don't hate, especially with Jalen Hurts.
New Orleans is good. I know it's a divisional game.
I didn't say much about this game, but I like Jalen Hurts this week.
We'll see.
The guy's a winner. He's a winner.
I just don't see how the Titans lose.
I mean, I have him in a dynasty league, so I hope so. But
He's a winner.
I wonder what his props are at.
He's home
against the best defense in the NFL, or one of the best.
Yeah.
Those lines aren't up. Or we're talking about passing or rushing.
I'm curious to see what his lines will be.
I don't think he'll have
his passing will be low.
He won't pop off, but I think they'll do some stuff.
I bet you gets 50 rushing yards.
Yeah.
I
think they do well with the run pass option. I think they go basically what he was doing over at Oklahoma.
Kind of gets me a little excited about Miles Sanders, which is scary.
I do like Miles. I like
for a fantasy.
You do not trust him in the first round of the playoffs. Do not do it.
I do.
Sorry. Should I play Damian Harris against the Rams?
No, you had other options there too.
Mike Williams, yeah.
You were the one that said Mike Williams over the other receiver.
Well, guess what? I've changed my tune.
What about your A+ lock?
Well, okay. You have a point. Maybe, yeah. It could be anyone else. Though. It could be Austin Eckler.
No, it's that's the reason why I don't want to bet that game because I think Eckler is going to have 10 to 12 catches this week.
I just got salty and sweet in one bite.
It's not good.
Cheerios.
There's no one else besides the Seahawks here. That's a definite lock. I do like the Colts if you still have them.
As a survivor?
Yep.
Gross.
I do like the Chiefs. I mean, you have to pick because I'm assuming if you're this late in the year, a lot of these major players.
No, you only have a few left.
Well, that's why, yes, when he said Chiefs, that's one thing. Titans, a lot of people probably haven't taken.
Yeah.
That's why I threw that one out there because I just think it's a team a lot of people don't have. or haven't used. Saints, yeah, probably.
Tampa at Vikings, or Tampa at home against the Vikings.
Tampa's not a bad one.
Dallas at Cincinnati, if you want to trust that, if you're desperate.
Titans next week also have the Lions at home, so if you want to save the Titans, that'd be a play off of them. I know the Bucks have I think Falcons 2 more times this year. So, and the Lions.
They haven't played it all yet?
They haven't, no.
Oh, wow.
That was the bet. It was, would the Falcons go 1-1 against the Bucks?
Will they win a game?
Will they win a game against the Bucks? You want to take that fucking bet, pal? Now that you've seen some more games, you want to take any bet? I thought you were a gambling man, huh? Ray McLeod just shriveled up your nuts, huh? Is that what I'm hearing? We can drop hundreds of dollars on games, but we can't bet a jersey?
Wearing a jersey for 8 hours, or 7 hours if it's a Friday, probably get out of here early. Yeah. Nick doesn't show up until 9 o'clock anyway.
You know my jerseys look better than yours, right? Like, you can say what you want about the Chargers. We have fire jerseys.
You have the best jerseys in the NFL. I actually like a lot of the Falcons' new ones this year, but nothing.
Oh, yeah, the gradient?
No, not that.
I don't want to talk about it. Falcons suck.
Okay, well, Nick's still not taking the bet. So, those are our Survivor plays for the week. And if you're still in it, God bless you. I am, and hopefully can make it to the end. $70,000 at stake. 290 people left. It's exciting. Huh?
So what's your split right now? What's your split?
How 290 for $70,000? I don't know.
If it ended today, it's what is it? 300 to 250?
240.
Yeah, 250.
It was probably a very scary week for some of you last week if you made it.
You had the Raiders last week. How many people had the Raiders?
Only 80.
I was going to say between the Raiders and the Vikings.
130 had the Vikings. That one. So, as soon as the Raiders was over, the Vikings were still going. I was like, oh, fuck. They knocked them out. That's huge because then it brings the pool down to 160. But didn't happen. Yeah. My path right now, unless something changes, is Seattle this week, Tennessee home to the Lions next week, Tampa Bay, I believe, home to the Lions or at the Lions. I can't remember.
It has to be the Falcons. Though.
At Tampa at the Lions.
They have the Lions in between the Falcons.
Oh, in between the Falcons.
So it's Tampa at the Lions and then New England home against the Jets last week of the season. That's the path right now.
That will be so scary because the Pats always tend to lose one of these last week games against a divisional opponent. I don't think it's going to happen against the Jets, but that's going to be scary as hell.
Jets at home where Bill Belichick hates the thing is, Bill Belichick probably hates the Jets more than any team in the league, and I feel like he'd fucking throw his defensive coordinator's son out on the field before he fucking...
I'd say he hates the Colts more than the Jets, but...
No.
With all the shit that they've done with Deflategate and all that
No. I don't care. I think he hates the Jets more than he hates...
Jim Irsay?
He hates the Jets more than he hates Hitler.
Okay,
that's because
Belichick is also a Nazi.
Nobody liked Hitler, though. Nazi party and Hitler, that is. We're off the rails. I can't wait to win my fantasy matchup against Baldner. I will say that.
What are we putting on? Matt, why don't you project who's going to win this week?
Yeah, good point.
Since
close all this down now.
Yeah, give me a second.
I gotta hit my vape.
All right, breaking news: Hayden Christensen coming back as Darth Vader for Obi-Wan. It's a new movie, as well as Ewan McGregor.
Well, I knew Ewan McGregor was going to be in it. That's pretty sweet. Dude, Mandalorian has had a great season.
Bird and Baldner. I think Bird has the best team in the league. I think he'll win this week, and we're looking at Bill versus Cometa. I really don't want Bill to win because it's too perfect of a story for how he started, and he should not be rewarded for these trades. They were stupid decisions that worked out for him.
I mean, were they stupid decisions?
They were.
Out of the playoffs.
But
he wouldn't have made the playoffs if he didn't do the trades.
Yeah,
I still think he's going to beat Nick.
You think he's going to beat Nick? Oh, wow.
I don't want it to happen. I think it's going to happen. Wow. They're both it's two tight matchups. You guys are projected 3 points within each other, and Bird and Baldner are 10 points separated.
Shit on Baldner's face.
All right, Odell.
Damn right.
I don't even know what to think.
He's not even in this week. If he comes back on Monday and I beat him, there might be a dookie waiting there.
Good luck beating him into the office.
I passed him one day on the way in.
Yeah,
we take the fucking road in. Same road in.
He usually gets in around 7.
Well then, guess what? If I win, I'll get here at fucking 5:30. Fuck
You
him.
may not show up.
Yeah, right.
That too.
What? Any other excuses I can say if I lose?
You traded away the championship or the playoff matchup. You're playing against the best player in the league that you had and traded away to the guy you're playing.
You keep saying best player in the league, is he?
He is.
Non-quarterback, yeah.
Quarterback is.
He's the highest scorer in fantasy.
Now, so I was
Half point.
talking to George McCarron about this one thing. I'll wrap it up. He did say when I was looking to trade Dalvin Cook, you were interested in giving me Devontae Adams.
I thought about it.
And
Bill offered me too, and I said no.
And the reason why I didn't even pursue that is because I knew you were going to be in the playoffs, and I didn't think Bill would make the playoffs. And I was like, I can get Hopkins in that, and I don't have to even face Cook. But that didn't happen. So
no, it didn't.
But hey, it's an exciting story.
I just can't wait. I'm actually pretty stoked for this playoff. I'm in all my playoffs for fantasy, and really the key is I just want to have one team go to Christmas, because Christmas is week 16, and watching football at Christmas when you're not working, and just like I took some days off around Christmas. I know you probably have too,
yeah.
But I still remember my home league. I won the first 2 years, then went like a 6-year gap without winning. And then I was at my in-laws Christmas Day, and I still remember, came down to Monday Night Football. Christmas was on Monday. DeAndre Hopkins was on my team. He was playing the Steelers. He only had like 20 yards receiving. I was like, I have no chance of winning in the fourth quarter when they're down by a fuck ton. DeAndre Hopkins in the corner, toe tap, best catch I think I've ever seen in my life. Won me the championship. Nothing like it on Christmas weekend. That's really my goal this year.
It's almost like Mike Boone Christmas gift or something, right?
No, it's not even close. Because that wasn't even Christmas. Like,
yeah, it was. My team name. I changed my team name to Christmas Miracle, and making fun of it was Chris-Miss, making fun of Chris O'Neill. It was right at Christmas.
Wasn't Christmas.
It's at Christmas every single year.
It wasn't Christmas.
Oh, okay, you know what you're talking about.
Maybe it was Hanukkah.
Well, you're still out of the playoffs, so no one matters.
Huh?
Still out of the playoffs.
Yeah, out of the playoffs. Yeah, what are you going to do this year? Thanksgiving Miracle? Cool.
Who'd you rather face next? So if you...
I'd rather face Savannah.
You'd rather face Savannah? Even if Kansas City has a bad
I know Kansas City has a bad matchup, but it's still Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, and I feel like they could beat literally anyone in the league. So give me that. Give me Savannah's team over that.
The Saints?
Yeah, but still. Versus Deshaun Watson against the Colts and Adam Thielen against the Bears. That's the comparison. Like,
yeah,
fuck that. I'll take Savannah's team. Danny's hot. Danny hasn't lost a game in 8 weeks.
Yeah, he is.
7?
No, he won 6, lost 1, and then beat me.
Sorry, he won 7 of the last 8.
That's all I'm saying.
Stand corrected. He's been on fire.
Oh, he has been. I'm not. He was out of the playoffs 7 weeks ago, and now it has a bye week this week. Like, yeah, he's on fire.
He actually lost to you.
Dumbass.
I beat Danny. I see. Well,
I stand corrected.
No, I don't stand corrected. Huh?
All right.
I
think that wraps things up.
Anyway. Oh, I beat Danny. Yeah, I did. Oh, look at that. I lost to this fucking moron. Oh my god. Holy shit. That was 4 of my last 6 to both of you two. That sucks. I still can't believe I lost to Savannah by 0.1. We're rambling. I got to cut all that out. I sound like a fucking idiot. So, anyway, if you're still listening, we appreciate it. It was a fun week. Hopefully you made the fantasy playoffs. Hopefully you can win some money leading into the playoffs, because that's the best time of the year to bet. So,
and hopefully if you are coming down to this week, a lot of leagues are only 4 playoff teams, so they go till next week playoffs. And if you one win away, don't pull it when Nani did and lose.
I'm so glad my last league finally switched to 6 playoff teams. 4 playoff teams is obnoxious, unless you're in a 10-team league.
But Anyway, thanks for joining us today. Hope you liked it. If you did, please like the YouTube button. Hit the like button on YouTube and share it around with everyone.
Subscribe.
And subscribe, ring the bell, do whatever you can. So, anyway, thanks for coming in.
See ya.